Now that I've posted my third shit video, as my friend Joe called it when he encouraged me to just go ahead and get over my fear and just post something, anything, every day. Um, so I think that was sort of breaking the ice, and maybe I can manage to stay on here a little bit longer before I just fully cringe myself out and delete the video and start over, which is tonight's been a series of those. But it's a good, I guess, segue into what I wanted to talk about, which is how hard it is for me anyway to make these videos. I have this sort of inner knowledge that this is something that I want to do for myself. But it is really, really scary to publicly post videos of yourself talking. And I'm realizing now why there were so many get over your fear of being seen videos that came through my feed. I think that was like maybe about 6 months ago. I mainly follow people who talk about awakening on YouTube. I watch a lot of that content. And like Aaron Lyons is probably my favorite, and Bashar, and people that everybody in that community tends to know. But anyway, point is, it's something I want to do, and it's something that I'm having a really hard time getting over my fear of doing, which is why my friend suggested that I just start doing it. Don't worry about how I feel about it. Don't worry about how maybe I could feel better about it. Backing up, I think when I first started thinking I would do this, I thought I needed to know a lot more than I do. For example, I needed to know how people edit their videos, and I wanted to make sure that I was a master of editing before I even posted anything, so that I could, craft the video in such a way that it would be more, I guess, professional, polished. I thought I needed to get the right camera, tripods or whatever, and have a good space to film in, and have good lighting, and all of those things needed to be in place before I got started, even though I've heard a lot of the people that I care about talk about, for one thing, to just start creating, that we need to start creating, consume less, create more, is kind of the general consensus. And the other thing that I hear a lot is that, especially among the awakening community, so-called light workers, starseeds, that what matters when it comes to expressing ourselves for others, for an audience, I'll say, is authenticity, and that's really mainly the only thing that matters. But I have spent a rather long career in marketing, so the idea that I would release something for other people to see, to hear, to experience, without it being, really presentable and well marketed and, well organized, and all of that, all of the things that I would really focus on for work, for marketing that I do. All that just makes it really hard to do this kind of raw, natural, just talk to the camera kind of thing. It's it's really, it's hard. But I want to like express some appreciation to, and I don't know if I'll be able to remember their names specifically. Maybe I'll mention them on another video, but a lot of the videos that have been coming into my feed lately have been what I think people would call a video log, and very sort of rough in a way, but in a good way, you know. For instance, I don't know, there seems to be an explosion of these vlogs of lonely Japanese men. And a lot of them talk about the fact that they have no friends and that they're poor too. Anyway, I've really enjoyed those videos. And I was like, you know, if that's okay, if that's interesting, then there's no reason why I can't just talk to the camera too. I'm not a lonely Japanese man, but I'm a person. I'm a person too. I've got things to say. At least in my head, I do. So anyway, that's what I was going to talk about today, is just the difficulty of making these, and how scary I find it. Because I guess there's maybe nothing more authentic than just saying, I'm here and I'm afraid. This scares me to do this. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm sure it will become less terrifying and less uncomfortable as I progress. And, I was going to talk about some of my fears. So, like, one thing that I was scared of is, like, what if somebody sees that I know, and how embarrassing that would be? And my friend Joe said, do you know how hard it is to get people to see any YouTube content? He was like, the chances that you're going to inadvertently have people see it that you don't want to see it are just almost non-existent. And I found that strangely comforting. And then what were other fears? I'm not that scared of what people I don't know would think. But more like I'm scared of what I'll think of myself, you know, hearing it, seeing it, and just knowing that it's so below my standards. Scared I'll bore people, that people will be like, what is the point? Why is she even doing this? And the answer to that question is not fully clear to me yet, although I will say that, I've just had this sort of inner desire to, or it's almost like there's someone in my head saying, you should do this. This is what's meant for you next. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I mean, even blogging, I could never understand why. I mean, I should say I'm a writer. Okay. So I could never understand why people would blog, because I was like, if they're going to write, go ahead and write and edit it and publish it. And as a diary or journal, I couldn't understand why you would want to release that to the public. So needless to say, I'm not naturally drawn to doing this, but but I think that it's good for me. I think this is going to be a good thing. I do think that eventually, I mean, I know I want to talk about my awakening experience, or mainly just talk about the awakening experience, like as a community or as a group. I know I don't want to. Oh my gosh, how can this possibly have been 10 minutes already? Oh well. I know that I know one thing I don't want to do on these videos is be giving advice. And I have kind of a weird reason for that, which is that I feel like I've spent most of my life giving people advice. And at this stage, whether it was asked for or not, also I'll add. And at this stage, I feel like most of the advice, looking back on it now, in light of what I know now, I think most of it was wrong. So I just want to be the one getting the advice, but I do want, if I can help someone else feel more comfortable with what they're going through, or even more importantly, I really want to help other people just feel better about themselves. So perhaps me getting on here and looking foolish can help someone else feel better about themselves. So that's kind of the point. Yeah, let's stick with that for today.